You know, shortly after the pandemic hit, some manufacturers started producing some real junk RVs. I'm telling you, some real junk RVs, and the people didn't even know they were buying junk at the time. What do you do if you happen to have one of those junk RVs? And who is making a killing in this industry? Kevin Frazer from Cheyenne Camping Center is going to tell me his thoughts right now. So if people purchased an RV back in that dip when the quality was really bad and they've got it now, what can they do? I mean, just live with it, I guess, is the answer.
Well, they're relying on their dealer to have caught all those little problems with it before they got it. And that is a problem. We don't have any, our industry doesn't have franchise agreements like the car guys do, so that the manufacturer can hold that dealer to certain standards. Most of the problems we have with quality, most of the problems we have with customers that don't know how to work their RVs, who allow little tiny things to fester, that's dealers that aren't doing their job. And that happened a lot too. We've had a terrible consolidation in our business where these big chains are buying up all the decent dealers in the whole country.
That scares me. I mean, personally, I'd like to know your take on it. But when the big guys, and I'm looking at the big picture, I guess Wall Street, and I'm not an economist or an investor, but I just kind of read the tea leaves, and it looks like the mom and pop days of mom and pop small dealerships like yours are going to be a thing of the past. I mean, they're already a thing of the past for many people.
Yes, but those big chains and the ones that aren't public or preparing to go public, because they're not in the business to make a living. They're in the business to make a killing in the stock market. We're coming up on a period, and I know you follow the stock market. There's been no downs. All you had to do to be a stock market advisor was say, buy, buy, buy. There's been no corrections. I've been around for bear markets. Here's what's coming up. That old fella, Buffett, he has a phrase. He said, when the tide goes out, you find out who's been swimming naked. Well, as interest rates go up, these chains, which are extremely over leveraged, because remember, it's all about just making a killing in the stock market, they're going to go away. And then persons like myself will be here. And I'll have competition from the people that left the business. There's one happening here right now, who left the business and are coming back into the business. Another family, our chief rival who sold out the camping world, is coming back.
Well, that's good, I think. I mean, it's good for the market.
It's okay with me. They sure are an improvement over Camping World.
Yeah. Well, and it scares me because if any of these big dealers go, or manufacturers, a dealer or a manufacturer or a division goes out of business and you happen to own one of their products, you're just kind of SOL. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, it happened a lot when we had the other downturns. Your audience is way too young to remember the 70s, but even in 92, when we had a minor downturn, and in the early part of the century, when a minor downturn, we lost companies, and the RVs that those companies built that were then in the possession of owners, they took a terrible drubbing in the marketplace. Honestly, if you stick with Forest River, you'll be fine. And I can't see a scenario where the entirety of Winnebago or Thor will go away. But they may cut loose some divisions. But the way things are sorting out nowadays, I think they will cover for the divisions they shutter. I think so.
I want to ask you a question. I want your optimistic view, Kevin Frazer, and your pessimistic view. When you look in the future, the next 6 months or the rest of 2022, what are you optimistic about in the RV industry and why? And then I'm going to ask you, what are you not so optimistic about?
Oh, well, I think it's going to be a down year, and I'm optimistic that our industry will take advantage of this patch of time to make their products better. I really think that's the way it's going to sort out. When we had really bad downturns, early 70s, early 80s, early part of the 1990s, everybody decided that the only way forward is to make their goods better, to make their product better, to make it more innovative. So I think that's going to come. Short term, there's going to be some pain. I'm afraid that my brothers and I are in the minority on this opinion, but we think it's going to be a pretty tough year for new RV sales. Now, since the inventory is so low, most people might not notice, but it will have an effect of giving the manufacturers time to engage in wart removal.
So let's hope Kevin Frazer is right about manufacturers taking the time to improve the quality of their products. The thing I want you to remember is that the bigger the RV chains, these big national chains, like Kevin said, they are making a killing. They're trying to make a killing in the stock market. How do they do that? By selling you stuff, and some of that stuff you may not really need. Thanks for watching. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. I'll see you next time.